In 1992, a game was released for the Sega CD so controversial, it was withdrawn from the market. It was also partly responsible for the creation of the ESBR.
Well, that's the short version. But it wasn't just Night Trap. Loads of games at the time had mature content, and kids had access to it all. Night Trap was just the straw that broke the camel's back.
It's quite tame compared to today's standards of gaming, but you got to look at it like this. Prior to the creation of the ESBR in 1994, video games didn't really have age ratings, so kids saw bloody, gory action games like Doom and Mortal Kombat and thought, ha ha ha, yeah, this is the best shit ever! Night Trap hits the shelves claiming non-stop action with over 90 minutes of full-motion video, featuring interactive scenes of abduction, death by weird grabby machines, and scenes that were considered to be sexually suggestive.
I speak, of course, about the infamous shower scene. You know the one I'm on about. The one with girls in the nightgown and the Augers in the shower, and they capture her and they kill her, but you don't see it and there's no blood. Yeah.
The game was considered shameful, sick, encouraging an effort to trap and kill women, and was eventually pulled off the shelves.
About 2 months ago, I saw the video game Night Trap for the first time. It is a sick, disgusting video game.
I don't like it at all.
But despite of all of that, it still managed to find its way being ported to the Sega CD, 3DO, PC and Mac. But wait a minute, full motion video you say? Interactive scenes? You mean to tell me I could be playing my game and it looks like a movie? I say you're crazy, it can't be done, surely.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
Whoa! Well, if this is what the Sega CD has to offer, then sign me up and the rest of the world for that shit! Let's play us some Night Trap!
Oh boy, here we go.
What is this? What even is this? It's not even full screen. It claims to be full motion video, but it's not even full screen. And when the scene is empty, it just looks like the same 2 frames looping over and over again. Okay, maybe I'm being a little harsh. It wasn't like it was just this game. Pretty much every Sega CD game has squished screens and low quality video, and I'm sure at the time it looked pretty impressive and was a technological advancement.
But we're not in its time. We're in the future. And I know what you're thinking. It looks fucking shit. And you'd be right.
The footage was filmed in 1987 and was originally intended to be used for Hasbro's Nemo video gaming system, which used VHS tapes instead of cartridges. But who remembers those? I mean, I do, but do you? I mean, if you don't, I feel old. So, a group of teenagers are staying around for a slumber party at Mr. and Mrs. Martin's house. They seem like a pretty normal family. Or do they? Strange things have been happening in this house as 5 girls who previously stayed have disappeared.
5 teenage girls have disappeared after spending the night at the old Lakeshore Winery house of Mr. and Mrs. Victor Martin.
This is where you come in. You play as a member of the Sega Control Attack Team.
Yes, that's right. That's what they really went with. They've actually changed Sega to Special, but that still doesn't change the fact that you play as a SCAT agent.
Scat is called in and Lieutenant Mustache over here informs you that it's up to you to protect the new wave of helpless, talented teenagers, one of whom is your undercover partner Kelly, from the inevitable threat of the Augers, or Augs, but I don't fucking know. These overacting sci-fi vampire thingies that are after the girl's blood. You search the house in real time via the security cameras. Kinda like this primitive Five Nights with Freddy style gameplay, switching from room to room and springing the traps to capture the Augers. Traps include revolving bookcases or trapdoors that seem to be filled with steam. Yeah, fry 'em! One problem I found is that because it's all in real time, as you listen to your lieutenant when he briefs you on your mission at the start of the game, the Augers have already entered the goddamn house!
You've missed way too many of the fuckers. Until you figure out how to do your job, you're dismissed. Breaking contact.
Who's to blame here? Not me. Can't blame me. I was listening to you. Blame him. He's the one distracting me from the mission. Yeah. At most, it doesn't even feel like you're playing a game. It looks like you're watching a mediocre horror movie, like one of those old slasher movies, but with no slashing or blood. You're watching the cameras and you find the interesting scene explaining the plot, but you forget that you're playing a game.
It was your job to protect Kelly and the rest of those girls.
The Augers have already entered the house and you keep just missing them. You're bound to fail on your first few attempts. When you see the Auger in the room and they're in the right position, the bar starts filling up. When it hits red, that's when you spring the trap. Got me one of those scat systems here myself, so let's have a look on the old boards and see what's going on, huh? Oh no, Rocky! How do you do this? How do you do this? Oh no. No. In order to work the traps, you've got to have the correct security access colour, which changes a few times during the course of the game. Keeping up with the correct code requires you to listen in on key conversations that happen somewhere in the house.
To orange. Don't worry, Mom. It's all in the fingers.
Though keeping an eye out for the plot and looking out for Augers can be exhausting, and after a while you just feel obligated to watch the hilarious death sequences. The game has a steep trial and error learning curve. The only way to get any good at this game is to play it over and over again. You'd have to make notes of what room and what time you'd have to look in, which would require playing the game countless times. Lucky for us though, now we have the internet. Just gonna download a walkthrough. Skip to the good bits. Oh yeah! That's what I'm talking about! Now we got ourselves a game over here. Oh, don't look at the shout! She's dead. Yeah, okay, she's dead. This is probably one of the more entertaining parts of the game. Such a catchy jam! It's just a shame you don't have much time to watch it because you're supposed to be watching out for Augers. Nah, you can see where the $1.5 million budget went into.
Well, that's just about enough life for me for one day.
And here's the shocking twist. Mr. and Mrs. Martin, and apparently anybody else who wasn't a helpless Dane in distress, are all vampires. And they were all involved in the disappearance of the previous girls. Oh yeah, bet you didn't see that one coming.
See? I told you they didn't look like a normal family. I was right.
For what it's worth, it's not the worst title to be released on the Sega CD. It's definitely one of the most entertaining and it has its own charm. I can see why it would be considered a cult classic.
Well, that was Night Trap. And if there's one thing I can take away from this experience, it'll probably have to be...
Easy for you to say. You weren't captured by Augers. Do you know how many of them I had to kill just to get back here? So much blood is on my hands. So much blood!
Oh my god! Did anybody else know this rock could talk? The fuck's that about?
Idiot.
You've been watching the Danicon Show. Well, check out my other videos I've done by following the annotations. Also, I have a Facebook and Twitter account. Why not click on those? While you're at it, why not subscribe to the channel? I have loads of other videos for you to check out and I hope you'll stay. And until next time, bye bye!